Pop history is filled with songs that were obvious worldwide smashes, but never seemed to cross over into the US market. In this video, we'll look at 8 singles that were hits globally but not in the US. Waka Waka This Time for Africa by Shakira. Waka Waka This Time for Africa stands as one of the biggest global hits of the 2010s, becoming the official anthem of the 2010 FIFA World Cup and achieving near universal recognition. Internationally, the song was a phenomenon. It topped charts in over 20 countries, became a cultural staple across Europe, Latin America, Africa, and parts of Asia, and went on to become one of the most watched music videos of all time. Now sitting on 4.3 billion views on YouTube, the song fused Shakira's signature sound with African influences, giving it a feel-good energy that captured the spirit of the world's biggest sporting event, which was hosted by South Africa that year. Globally, the song wasn't just a hit, it was an anthem everywhere. Well, everywhere but the US. Despite its enormous international impact, Waka Waka had a surprisingly modest showing in America. While the song was known, especially among soccer fans, it never achieved mainstream dominance. The World Cup connection didn't translate, and American pop radio also gravitated towards dance pop and electro-driven hits back in that era. And the song went on to peak at number 38 on the Billboard Hot 100. A global mega hit that defined a year, was just a decent success in the US market. Sorry by Madonna. Madonna's 2006 single Sorry, the second release from her Confessions on the Dance Floor album, was a massive global hit. It reached number 1 in the UK, Italy, and Spain, dominating Europe. Its disco electropop production, combined with Madonna's signature voice, turned it into one of the standout tracks of the mid-2000s. Internationally, the song was praised as one of her best singles and a key part of her commercial resurgence in the 2000s. But in the United States, Sorry peaked at a shockingly low number 58 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming one of the weakest performing singles of Madonna's career. The song was a victim of limited US radio support, especially from top 40 stations. In the mid-2000s, American radio programmers were notoriously hesitant to play Madonna's new material. Despite strong club play, where it hit number 1 on the Dance Club Songs chart, the song received almost no major top 40 rotation, which restricted its chart potential. Over time, however, Sorry has become one of Madonna's lasting hits from that era. It is widely regarded as a highlight from the album and is now considered a modern classic. Even if American audiences didn't embrace it at the time, it is a legendary track to this day. All Good Things Come to an End by Nelly Furtado. When Nelly Furtado released All Good Things Come to an End as the final major single from Loose, it exploded internationally. The emotional guitar-driven ballad showed a different side of her, compared to her more upbeat hits like Promiscuous and Say It Right, both of which hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song resonated deeply across Europe, where it reached number 1 in countries such as Germany, Switzerland, and Netherlands. Globally, the song became one of her most successful singles, further solidifying the Loose era as one of the biggest international pop success stories of the 2000s. In the United States, however, the story was completely different. The song was not pushed as an official single to pop radio, largely because the label wanted to focus on the high-energy singles. American audiences had fully embraced Nelly Furtado's reinvention with Timbaland, but this song didn't do well in the US, peaking at number 86 on the Billboard Hot 100. Since the US prefers specific radio formats, the song's softer vibe didn't match the sonic landscape of 2006, which leaned towards club music and high-tempo pop. Timing also played a major role, because Promiscuous, Man Eater, and Say It Right were dominating US radio and maintaining long chart runs. The label strategically avoided releasing another song that might disrupt that. In hindsight, this meant that one of Nelly Furtado's biggest global singles never had the opportunity to shine in the US market like it was supposed to. Euphoria by Loreen. When Loreen released Euphoria as Sweden's entry into the Eurovision Song Contest in 2012, it became an instant phenomenon. The song dominated the competition, winning with one of the highest point totals in Eurovision history. Beyond the contest, Euphoria exploded across Europe and beyond, reaching number 1 in more than 20 countries, including major markets like Germany, Sweden, and Ireland, and hitting the top 3 in the UK. Its mix of icy production, soaring vocals, and energy made it the perfect soundtrack for clubs and festivals around the world. Despite its global momentum, the song struggled to make an impact in the US. It never entered the Billboard Hot 100, receiving only niche coverage from American Eurovision fan communities. The US historically has not embraced Eurovision Eurovision, mainly because the contest is not widely broadcast in the country. Without the massive promotional platform of the TV show, Euphoria never had the momentum needed to break into the mainstream American radio rotations. Still, the song remains one of the most successful Eurovision songs in modern history, proving that US chart success is not the only metric for global impact. Its legacy continues today, frequently re-entering the global charts during Eurovision season and standing as a prime example of a worldwide phenomenon that the US simply overlooked. Papa Oute by Stromae. Stromae's Papa Oute was a massive global hit, especially across Europe, Africa, and parts of Asia. The Belgian-Rwandan artist blended electronic dance pop with African rhythms, creating a sound that felt both unique and universal. Papa Oute topped charts in France and Belgium and hit the top 10 in over 15 countries, going on to accumulate hundreds of millions of streams long before streaming became dominant. Its iconic choreography and unforgettable music video helped cement its global reach, now sitting on 1.1 billion views on YouTube. But despite all this global traction, the song did not become a significant hit in the US. Papa Oute never broke into the Billboard Hot 100, primarily due to a combination of the language barrier, limited US radio support, and the sound that didn't resonate with the American public at the time. While Stromae's artistry earned him a dedicated cult following in North America, especially among fans of dance music, he did not receive the level of promotion or media exposure needed to push a non-English song into the US mainstream. Ironically, Stromae became more recognized in the US years later when artists like Lorde, Billie Eilish, and Kanye West praised him as an influencer. Papa Oute is now often cited as one of the greatest global pop hits of the 2010s, but it couldn't make a dent on the US charts. Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus. When Teenage Dirtbag was released in 2000, it exploded internationally as an anthem for misfits and underdogs. The song topped charts in Australia and hit the top 3 in many countries including the UK, where it became a generational classic. Its presence in the 2000s film Loser helped push the track across Europe, and it quickly evolved into a coming-of-age staple referenced in films. For many international listeners, the song defined the early 2000s pop punk, but in the US, the song surprisingly did not chart on the Billboard Hot 100 at all. This wasn't due to a lack of appeal. The melody is catchy, and pop punk was already thriving with bands like Blink-182. Instead, multiple industry factors worked against the band. Their label Sony had been restructuring at the time, limiting radio support and distribution. As a result, a song that was a global phenomenon barely made a dent in the US market. Wheatus were an American band, so it's surprising that the song found its groove elsewhere. Despite its US underperformance, the long-term legacy of Teenage Dirtbag is overwhelmingly positive. The song gained cult status over the years and eventually became a viral hit on TikTok, with its live performance getting attention online in recent years, reintroducing it to American listeners who never experienced it during its original release. Today, the song is considered a timeless anthem, proving that cultural impact cannot always be measured by initial commercial success. All My Friends by Snakehips featuring Tinashe and Chance the Rapper. All My Friends arrived in late 2015 as a surprising fusion of alternative R&B, electronic soul, and hip-hop. The collaboration between Snakehips, Tinashe, and Chance the Rapper was surprising, but it instantly connected with international audiences thanks to its melancholy, catchy chorus and relatable narrative about nightlife exhaustion. The song climbed the charts in the UK, New Zealand, and several parts of Europe, becoming a multi-platinum global hit. In the US, however, the song didn't have the same success, despite the rising profile of all 3 artists involved, especially Tinashe's momentum at the time and Chance's growing influence. The single failed to crack the Billboard Hot 100. In America, it performed well on streaming platforms, but not on mainstream radio. US programmers struggled to categorize the track, too down-tempo for pop radio and not rhythmic enough for urban formats. But globally, All My Friends became one of the defining alternative pop crossovers of its era. It went multi-platinum in several regions and became a staple in festival sets. Its American underperformance didn't reflect its cultural reach. Today, the song remains a beloved international hit, and it deserved better in the American market. Lush Life by Zara Larsson. Lush Life was a European phenomenon, becoming a defining summer anthem in a lot of countries. The song hit the top 5 in the UK, Germany, and Australia, ultimately earning multi-platinum certification worldwide. With its tropical pop bounce, catchy hook, and carefree lyrics about living in the moment, it captured the energy of the mid-2010s wave perfectly. For many listeners around the world, Lush Life was the song that cemented Zara Larsson as a rising international star. However, the US response was slower and significantly weaker compared to its massive international reception. Although Lush Life eventually entered the Billboard Hot 100, it failed to climb to the upper tiers of the chart, peaking only on number 75. Part of the challenge was competition. 2015 and 2016 were dominated by huge hits like Justin Bieber's Sorry, Drake's One Dance, and the Chainsmokers' Closer, leaving limited space for international breakthrough singles on US radio. Promotion also played a major role. Zara Larsson wasn't yet a household name in the States, and without a viral moment or a strong push, Lush Life never reached its full potential on the US charts. Ironically, the song's sound closely matched the global trends of the time, but it somehow didn't connect with Americans. Which singles that were hits globally but not in the US did I miss? Tell me in the comments below.